Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning.
Johnny LaRusso, my hairstylist for, gosh, we're going on, I think this is going to be year 4 or 5 now.
4,
Yeah.
close to 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I found you during COVID when I lived just at the start of the Hollywood Hills. I don't know exactly how I found you, but I saw your picture and I was like, oh shit, he has great hair. He looks good.
Yeah.
Let me go see him.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have been loyal to you ever since.
I appreciate that very much.
Even
And
when
I
you
think we
had
also
your
have a
back
similar
surgery.
background. Yeah, we have a similar background too. So that's why we kind of gel together, I think.
Oh, talk to
Because
me about our similar background. What are you referring to exactly?
I'm referring to us being a mutt. Because I don't know, I can't
Yes.
remember if you have a little bit of Asian, but it's more Native American, correct?
I don't even have any Native American. I wish I did, but
What is it?
I definitely have the Asian. So I'm
Okay,
half
good. That's what it is.
Filipino, half Caucasian, and you are?
That's what it is. Half Vietnamese and half Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when I was looking at our picture that we took the other day, I was like,
Mhm.
shit, we look like we're related.
I know. So I guess we
Which
can't date.
would be weird.
That would be
But
weird.
I'll tell you what though. Man, this past weekend was a doozy. I just got thrown for a loop. I am still recovering, and I don't know for how long I'll be recovering. I am currently single, and I believe that everything happens the way that it's supposed to. And man, it's rough out there. Life can be rough. The other day, I said to Great Spirit, I said to the universe, I was like, why is this so hard? Also, like, I understand that everything happens the way that it's supposed to, and I'm grateful.
See, the difference is that you keep moving forward, correct? And I, on the other hand, I don't want to feel that again because that happened to me a couple of years ago and
Yeah.
it kind of makes me not want to pursue anymore. And I get it, everything's a learning experience and growth and all that, but I am still a human being. And it's hard because do I really want to experience that kind of pain again? Probably not, but I should because I'm learning and growing. So I don't know how it is for you.
Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. When you're going through the pain, you don't want to experience it because it just sucks.
Right.
It's such an uncomfortable feeling. And I've had to train myself to embrace pain. And I have
Mm,
to look at pain in a different way. For me, pain is a lesson, it's a tool. It's
right.
something that I can actually appreciate. Also, when I'm feeling pain, it makes pleasure, it makes joy that much more pronounced.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because when I have physical pain, same kind of thing. When I have physical pain, the little minutes and or even hours of just the relief, I appreciate it even more.
Yes.
And I think there's a reason why we go through pain. And I get it. It sucks when it's chronic sometimes, but that little bit of relief makes you think, okay, I'm grateful for the fact that I feel good for this, whether it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, or half a day with
Yeah.
shoulder pain and whatever pain I have just from doing hair for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate it, but sometimes I want the sun to shine on me a lot longer than just a few minutes.
I totally get it. I know. And I think that is it possible that we have to create our own sunshine? What do you think of that?
I agree. And sometimes I don't practice what I preach. I'll probably tell other people that, you got to got to make your choices. You got to create your happiness. A lot of people have told me, you're not happy because you choose not to be happy.
Hmm.
No, I don't choose not to be happy. Well, then all you got to do is change your mindset. So yes, I do believe that you choose your future, you choose your frame of mind, and sometimes I do that, but a lot of the times I don't. And I'm not sure why I don't, because maybe I feel like I feel sorry for myself, and I'm trying to get myself out of that hole, just to embrace the fact that you can go this direction and choose to be happy, to be sad, to have joy in your life. It's tough because, like I said, I'm a Gemini, so there's the good side of me, and then to the other side of me that they kind of two guys on my shoulder, kind of like fighting with each other. It's hard. It's hard. It's
Man,
hard being human.
it's hard to be human. It is. It's hard to be human at any stage of life, especially if you're one of these humans who wants to grow. And I know
Right.
you enough to know that you do want to grow. There was so much there was so much that I think that was important in what you just said. I believe you said you control your future or you
Right.
influence your future. And I
Sure.
think the way that you do that is like what you're doing right now in the present,
Mm,
because your present predicts your future. If
mm.
you, for example, are taking care of yourself now, you're going to set yourself up for more success in the future. But if you're doing the opposite, if you are feeling sorry for yourself now, then where is confidence going to live in the future? Is it even going to be present? Is it even going to be available? But you're so relatable in so many ways. And what I really appreciate about you is your vulnerability. I always know I'm getting the truth with you. You don't ever pretend to be something you're not or better than you are. You admit where you're at and that you're struggling. And I'm just curious. And also, I'm a fellow Gemini. And so I like horoscopes and I like astrology. I don't swear by it.
Right.
It's not going to define me, but it sure is fun. And there are a lot of coincidences there.
And also the fact that you and I can be vulnerable to you, I think has a lot to attribute to the fact that I've known you for 4 years now, sitting in my chair. We have these conversations during a hair service. Normally, I don't really open up to that many people. I'm much better one-on-one. In a group. Forget about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that I diminish myself. I just kind of stand back in the shadows. But
Yes.
when it's one to one and it's the right person, I can definitely open up a little bit, which I've seen. This happened to me many times and it's happened to me for years, but I'm not the type of Gemini that's loud and lights of the party. I've always been just a little bit stepping back and observing and thinking and waiting for myself to say something that is relevant or not just spewing something out. That makes sense.
Yeah. It sounds like you're a little bit more thoughtful and you like to observe first. You like
Yeah,
to like understand your surroundings and you're thoughtful.
sure.
I
Sometimes
get all that.
that doesn't help my confidence because I may not be judging, but if I'm observing a lot, then I think, well, I get in my head, should I say this? Wait, if I say this, they're going to think that. Oh, I'll just keep my mouth shut and just watch people. But I want to participate in this, but are they going to think that I'm not articulate or being weird or so all these things are going on in my head. So mainly I'm probably judging myself. So I'd rather just step back and be quiet and watch until it's
Wow.
a one-on-one thing.
I understand that completely. I'm so similar in that way. When it's one on one, I can go deep. I can feel focused. I feel more relaxed and I can be
Right.
much more vulnerable. And I'll tell you, since we first met, it's not like we had to build gradually with the vulnerability. I've known you to be vulnerable, at least with me, right from the start. Like we went
Sure.
deep right from the start. And I've always appreciated that. I also appreciate you sharing that you don't always do that because I only know you from our experiences, and so this is probably unfair, but I assume that you're that way with everyone.
No, not at all. Not even close.
Wow,
So
that is mind-blowing to me.
yeah, yeah. I'm very particular and I can I can tell when I'm sitting and talking to somebody whether I want to open up or not. And once the door gets cracked open, oh yeah, boom, there it goes. But for the most part, I kind of close off a little bit and kind of wait for my time to kind of break through if I want to. If I don't, everything else is just noise. I'm not thinking about it as I'm arrogant or it's not my time or it's not worth my time, but it's got to be worth my time if I'm going to like open up like that without any, I knew you wouldn't judge me. And the other thing too is that when I first met you, I don't know if I want to promote this, but there was a landmark education. We
Oh,
both
sure.
we both
Sure.
did that. So I think there was a little bit of a connection of knowledge as far as why you're saying certain things and why I'm saying certain things. And is that true? Or is that a story or this or that? So I think that we had a little similar line of communication comes to that.
Oh, absolutely did. And Landmark's
Right.
deep. That's all about
Right.
personal growth and development, and if anybody's done that education, then I personally think if you've done that work or if you've been exposed to it, you're already on a different level. Now,
Right.
if you're practicing what you've learned, then you're on another level. But
Mhm.
that was a great way for me to feel comfortable in opening up with you because I know that you're the kind of person who's interested in looking underneath the surface, if you will.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Already everything that you've shared, I can relate to as far as if you decide to open up to somebody, if you decide to, then you can. But it sounds like there's a lot of internal chatter. Like there's so much going
A
on
lot.
in your
Yeah.
mind.
I think a lot of it has to do with past experiences and trauma and all that kind of stuff as well.
You do?
Yeah, of course. I
So
was
wait, are
raised,
you saying that it hasn't always been this way? Your mind has been quieter?
my mind was much quieter and how do I say this? I enjoyed life much more probably, I'm 54, so probably 30 years ago in my 20s.
Okay.
I had a tight knit group of friends, played basketball, did a lot of things. And then suddenly, as you get older, friends disappear, things trickle away. You get older, they get families, they move away, this or that. And then I start to shut down and I'm by myself. And it just slowly started to shut down. But yeah, before in my 20s, I was very open. But as things happened as far as I didn't have a father. So I got to learn how to be a man on my own. My mom did the best she could. She helped me financially as being a mother and taking care of me, but there wasn't that parental, I love you. We just never said that. It's hard to say that. We say it now just because she's in her 70s, we're older, and we say it, but even though we say it, it's a little bit uncomfortable. Even
Wow.
giving hugs is a little bit uncomfortable because I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with tough love.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is like made me think I've got to do this all by myself. And then I internalized everything, and having friends is great, but I'm just keeping this part, my heart, protected and safe because dad's going to leave anyway. Friends are going to leave anyway. The more that happened, when people started leaving my life, feeling abandoned, I was like, okay, let's close it off. Slowly but surely, it depends on the right person or what kind of one-on-one connection I have with somebody that I'll open up. And when I do, the floodgates open and I appreciate it. And I have so much to give and so much to say. But when it's not there, it's shut down. But if you can break through that wall, then I have so much to give. And I know that I do, but I'm just very particular about who it is because eventually, I think, well, are they going to leave? This person might leave. It happened again. This girl might leave. This relationship. Oh, they left. Okay. It happened again. So now that I'm older, okay, well, it's hard to make friends. My personal experience, it's hard to make friends when you're in your 50s. I'm not going to go to bar. I'm not going to go to club anymore. I don't do that stuff anymore. So I need to get out there, whether it be yoga classes, whether it be photography groups, those kind of groups. But even that's challenging for me because in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to have to be around all these people. If I do what I normally do, which is shut down, how is that going to look in front of all of them? So then I shy away from joining those groups. I think to myself, I'd rather just be alone. But then it is kind of sad sometimes. Like it affects me mental health wise. And then all the problems I have physically, just from physically from doing hair or working out, all that kind of stuff. I think it compounds that because I'm not happy. And me admitting that I'm not happy. Yeah, I know I'm not happy with life, but maybe I'm choosing that and I have to choose to be happy. But then I feel like sometimes I'm so deep in the hole that, oh, wow, that's a long way to climb out of that just to get happy. So I'll just stay here and hopefully the universe will help me. But then it'll only help you if you help yourself.
Oh my God, you read my mind. I'm so
Yeah,
glad you said it.
I know. And it's funny because everyone's like saying, you should practice what you're preaching. It's hard though. It's hard being a human. And sometimes I wish to myself, okay, I think I've done what I need to do in this world. I'm ready to go to the next level or to the next dimension or to the next life. But I'm still here. So I don't know. Maybe I have more things to do.
You definitely have more things to do. You're so deep and you're so incredibly thoughtful and you're so intelligent. You're almost too intelligent. It's like get out of that head and start working from here, from your heart, putting yourself out there. It's scary. It's so
Yeah.
scary. But you know what you need to do. You need to get out there, and you don't have to go to bars if that's not what your life is about. If you're not into drinking and meeting people
Right.
in that way, then yeah, that's not how you do it. But if you do like working out, and I know you do, then
Right.
you sign up to go to a gym instead of working out in your home. And you can still work out in your home, but working out in a gym, it shakes things up. It brings novelty to your life. It gets you outside. It gets you moving. It gets that forward motion going. And then there's the possibility of a friendship blossoming. And you don't even have to put any pressure on that. You
Right.
can just be open to the possibility. When I go to a gym, it's not because I need to. I can work out damn well by myself. I am
Right.
disciplined. I know what I need to do. But I don't do that. I don't have to go to the gym for any other reason except for I like the social aspect. I
Mm.
like to be with other humans because it's not in my nature to want to do that, but I know how good it is for me. And I
Mm.
don't ever expect to be buddy buddy with everyone. If I end up making a friend or two out of the gym, no expectations, then I'm blessed. I'm lucky. And I will put in the work to make that friendship happen. But I never ever try to be something that I'm not. I don't put any pressure on it. And I'll
Mm.
tell you, I joined a gym for the first time in a very long time, and I've got some friends now from that
Mm.
gym. And I'm starting to build friendships there. I don't go into them thinking, "Oh, you know what? At some point they're going to leave," or, "Oh, if they know this about me, they're
Mm.
not going to like me as much anymore." Cuz if
Mm.
I sit in that energy, then I invite that energy.
Mm.
That becomes the possibility. What I do is, "Hey, this is me. I'm Kat. I'm going to dance from time to time. I'm going to take videos of my workouts. If you want to join me, great. If you want to judge me, fine. I don't
Mm.
care. I'm here to have fun. I'm going to compliment you when I see you doing something great because that's who I am.
Mm.
And I'm going to just be me. I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to attract people who like that. And I will not attract people who don't like that, and that's fine.
Mm.
That's fine. What do you think of
Mm.
all that?
Well, I think I agree with you. However, from my perspective, I work with people every day.
Yeah.
And for an hour, whatever, however long the haircut is and the service is, a different person every hour. And they're spewing all of their information and energy to me. And by the time I get home, I have absorbed all of this. My husband did this. My boyfriend did that. Oh my, can you believe this? The politics, this and that. And I have to absorb and just all of that. By the time I get home, I'm drained.
Oh,
And
wow.
it feels toxic, and I'm drained. And do I want to go out and talk to more people and meet people and go to the gym and be around people? Absolutely not. I just want to sit at home and decompress. And that's the tough part about it. Doing hair for 20 years, you're always around people. People say to me, well, why aren't you like a little bit more upbeat or outgoing or social? My social is at work. I just hear all these conversations, even the person behind me or next to me. And by the time I get home, I'm like full of all this like positive, but also negative energy from just people, all this information, and I can't release it. And the only way to release it is just to sit down and decompress. And people say, well, why don't you go out at night? Or why don't you go do this? I can't do people right now. After a long day of work, I can't.
Yeah.
On my days off, sure, I venture out. And I have to admit that I do enjoy like when I went to the gym before the pandemic, it was nice to be around people and that energy. I didn't have to necessarily talk to everybody, but I was around it and it felt good because I was working out. I watched somebody. I'm like, oh, I like what they're doing. That's going to help. Oh, I like what they're doing. Little pieces here and there. But now that I'm home alone, it's just all that toxicity from all the information from work and the people that talk to me. It's just hard to unload all of that. And if I unload it, it's little by little. So it's hard for me to just get out there and, oh yeah, go join a group, talk to more people. It's like, the social aspect of it is tough, and that's something I had to figure out and how to balance that out, just to cleanse that stuff that I get from work in the salon. It's a different environment. It's a different beast.
I'm so glad that you took the time to share that with me because I didn't
Yeah.
even consider that. I think that our conversations are so deep. I'm only relating to how our conversations go.
Right.
And wow, I
Yeah. And
can
the
relate.
minute I'm done with you, it's like the next person comes and not saying that the conversation with you didn't mean anything. Of course it does because I've known you for 4 years. It could be somebody else and they're not talking about deep conversations like you and I. They're
Mm.
talking about their relationship and their husband and why this is happening and the state of the world. And then after them, I have another person that sits in my chair. Here we go again. So it becomes like when we're talking or as I'm cutting and we're talking, I'm just, yeah, mm-hmm. But it's in one ear, out the other sometimes.
Because you have
Yep.
to. It's not that you don't care. It's because you only have so much
I only
capacity.
have so much capacity.
Wow. I can relate to you again because in addition to doing this and modeling and commercials, I also work as a personal
You're a
trainer.
trader. Yeah. So
I'm a
yeah,
trainer. And so you and I are both in the service industry.
right.
And I love it and I feel blessed. And I think you do too. But at the same time, what's a creative way to say this? We are unlicensed therapists.
Right.
And we are not qualified for that. But because we're in the service industry, and when somebody's getting taken care of, whether they're taking care of their body or their hair or facials or massage therapists, we all become, pseudo therapists in a way, whether we
Mm,
want to or not. And it comes with the territory. And I have some clients who unload, and I think here's what I want to say. I've been doing this for over 10 years now,
mm-hmm,
and I have to set really healthy boundaries around that. I
mm.
have to. I don't know if there's a creative way for you to set healthy boundaries or if it's a reframing in your own mind about letting people talk and thinking about it in a different way. I don't even know if the possibility of like getting into a different industry is open to you. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here.
Eventually, yeah, eventually. I mean, I can't do hair forever,
Right.
but eventually. And like you said, I do try to compartmentalize the whole fact that they're talking and I'm absorbing, but I'm trying to just get through the service and at the same time making sure that I am listening, but at the same time I can't take it all in. So
No.
inside in my head, I've got to separate that from, okay, don't talk too much about this because it's really going to bring you down or affect you. And then you have to be up because when the next client comes, I have to be up and brand new because they're expecting me to be at my best. And I am usually, but all that other baggage, I have to like show them that it's gone. Hi, how you doing? What have
Yeah.
you been to today?
Yeah.
Boom. Next person. Hi, how you doing? What have you been to today? It's tough. It's tough.
It's
But
so tough.
yeah.
I'm getting clear on this because when I started my personal training journey, I had to take a lot more clients at that time.
Mm,
Now I'm much more selective with who I take and how many clients I take in a week.
mm,
And I'm blessed enough where I have another job so that I don't have to have so many clients because I'm like you. I give so much of myself. I'm deep listening, and that's exhausting. In fact, I think it's more taxing than physical demands. The emotional and mental demands are strong. And so now I get it. Now I get it. After a long day of just listening,
mm.
you want to decompress. You don't
Mm.
want to think. You don't want to exert yourself anymore, even if it's an enjoyable thing because you're zapped.
Absolutely. By the end of the day, my last couple clients, I may enjoy talking to them, but at the same time, in my head, I'm thinking, I'm so exhausted. I need to get through this service. So I'm hoping that they just pipe it down a little bit so that I can just really get through the service because balancing the two towards the end of the day, it's tough.
It's
My
tough.
favorite is when there's a client that comes in and she has her laptop. She goes, don't mind me. I'm just gonna be working. Do what you need to do. I'm
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, I have a few clients that let me do that. That I don't really talk to them that much.
That makes so much sense. And I just always know you to be the consummate professional, no matter what. You are always early, not even on time, but early. You're ready to go. You always give a spectacular haircut. But then that added component of how much you're going to listen and how much you're going to be able to give, that's a whole different skill set.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different skill set, and it requires a huge energy expenditure.
Right.
And I wonder if there's ways to have healthy boundaries about that, because I do know that you care about people, and it's not like you don't want to show care. It's just how much can you give? And so
Mm,
I wonder, is it as simple as letting people talk, but you not absorbing it? Because you used that word a few times already, that word absorbing. Is there a
right.
way to let them talk and not absorb?
It's a tool that I'm going to I've acquired over the years of doing hair. It's not perfected, but sometimes things are said that cause triggers and I have to let it in. But at the same time, if they do say something, I can't be dismissive about it. So it's a fine line and it's a tool that I've learned just throughout the years. Trust me, in the beginning, I listened to everybody and I was laughing and joking. And then by the end of the day, I was just completely done. So I had to learn to taper that off and be selective about what I'm listening to and what I'm not.
What do you mean triggers? Their triggers or your triggers? Can you give me an example?
It's about relationships,
Mm.
and sometimes most of the time, they're talking about their significant others. I mainly do women. So they're talking about their husbands or their boyfriends and why this relationship doesn't work or this or that. And they're the ones that are on their way out, if that makes sense,
Oh, the woman is wanting to leave.
or wanting to leave, or the woman's wanting to leave. She's married. She's got a boyfriend, whatever. And then it makes me think, here's the trigger. It makes me think, well, why do I want to be in a relationship then? I'm seeing these women day after day
Oh,
after day talking about, I want to get a divorce. I'm so unhappy. I'm so this. I'm so that. I wish I could you're so lucky that you're single. You get to do whatever you want. And in my head, I'm thinking, why do I want to find somebody? This
wow.
is what I get. This is what I see every day. I hear their complaints every day. I was like, I don't want that. Or they're talking about, well, my personal trainer, he's so hot. And, my husband doesn't do this for me, but this guy, my trainer's so nice to me. He's so caring. And in my head, I'm thinking, I have my own insecurities, but if she was my wife or my girlfriend, I'm thinking, well, would she be doing that to me? And vice versa. Men, same
Right.
thing. Men, same thing.
Yeah. Wow. I have lots of different types of clients. So I have male and female. It sounds like you have primarily female clients, and
Correct.
there tends to be a bit of there's a pattern here. These women are unsatisfied, whether they're married or they have a boyfriend or what have you. And they're
Sure.
saying, oh, you're so lucky being single and all of that. Okay, I'm going to ask you something. Do you think that you are attracting a certain type of client, or it just happened?
It just happens.
Because not all of your clients are like that.
No, I would have to say also some of my clients, especially if they're newer clients, I can sense that they're talking to me like that and complaining about their relationships because I can tell by the way they look at me that there's an interest there, if that makes sense.
So you think that they're very politely and safely fishing?
Yes, absolutely. Only
Yeah.
a few of them do. Not all of them, but a
Yeah.
few of them do. Yeah.
You've noticed. You're
I've
aware
noticed.
enough.
I'm aware enough.
Yeah.
And I know not to cross that boundary. I've done it before. Just maybe I could count on my hands, but it's just not good. It's a conflict of interest. It's
Yeah.
always a conflict of interest. I don't want to lose a client, and I have lost clients before. I don't know if I should be saying all this stuff, but
Well, the truth is, like so many people have done it, and
right,
I have been tempted as well. Just full
right,
disclosure. You end up training somebody and they're really good looking and you're both single. It's like, well, this makes a lot of sense, but it's
right,
like this is also my business.
right,
And at the end of the day, I want to help people and I want my business to thrive and I have a
right.
reputation, but I'm a human being.
Yeah,
I'm a human being and it's okay. So I think that yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. I think that a lot
right.
of people just aren't willing to be as vulnerable. That's all that is and share what the truth is. But people have these kind of thoughts and they've done things all the time.
That's another reason why when I get a married woman or a person who's in a relationship that says, "Hey, we should go hang out sometime." In my mind, I think to myself, "See, that's why I'm staying single."
Well,
We circle back to that again. That's why I'm staying single. And I know not everybody's like that, but when you're hearing it constantly over and over, it's just like,
Yeah,
okay,
that
well,
would freak me out too.
yeah,
They're
absolutely.
'cause they're being a certain way. I have a feeling they're being a little bit more loose-lipped, a little bit more free in their
Mm,
speech, and so you're like, "Well, damn, this is how they think? I think
right.
this is how some people think."
Of course. Of course.
And also to go back on the the comment you made about like personal trainer and how, oh, my personal trainer is so good to me and they're good looking and all that. It's like you see them for 1 hour, I don't know how many times a week. Of course, they're going to be great. When you are in a relationship, you have to see it all. And if you're
Mhm.
living together, that's like next level. If you were living with your personal trainer, it's not going to be all peaches and rainbows or
Nope.
whatever. It's going to be like your relationship. Relationships are hard.
Right. And then once again, are they hard because we say that they're hard? It could be easy if we choose for it to be easy and let go of stuff, but that's the human part of it, you know?
That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
What if we went around just deciding that relationships are going to be easy? I'm going to simplify. I'm going to be an effective
What if
communicator.
we did?
Wow.
What if we did do that?
I
That'd be so
know
easy, right?
it would, but talking about it is very different from putting it into
Mm-hmm.
action. I can speak from my own experience. As I have more relationships and as I grow, I get better and better and better and better. However, even in relationships that I think are going to be out of this world and it's like the forever relationship and it's all the
Right.
magic, my demons still come up
Mm,
because I still have growing to do. Full disclosure, I still have a lot of growing to do. And
mm,
the right partner is going to touch on those pain bodies, if you will. And um, I know that those are the areas where I need to grow. And it's not cute, it's not fun, it's challenging, it's uncomfortable, but having somebody who says, "You know what? I see you. I can see that there's conflict in you. We need to talk about this. We need to come up with a solution, be creative, work together," then I think that's a beautiful thing. But you have to have two strong individuals who are willing to show up
mm.
for each other over and over and over and over and over again. Now, I think that some people can have easier relationships and like more power to you. But for me, like you, I've had a lot of struggles in life and I've had to overcome a lot. And I am getting better and healthier, but
Mm.
I'm also kind of intense. I don't know if that has anything to do with like Gemini or what have you, but I'm
Right.
an extremely passionate person. So everything kind of goes full speed. And anyways, what I'm trying to say is that relationships can be hard.
Okay. Well, okay. I get that. And thank you for that. And here's my question to you is, I've known you for these past 4 years. I know some of your relationship detail, but you keep moving forward.
Yes.
And that's something that I respect and value whenever you tell me that, okay, well, I'm moving forward. I met somebody new. If it didn't work out, I met another person, somebody new. So I respect the fact that you keep going forward. Me, I don't want to go through that again unless it's for sure. I'm like, going, wow, this person, I really dig this person, but is there a chance that it's not going to work out? Do I risk it? I'm not sure. But you move forward. Oh, or is that true? That you do find it
Yes.
easier to move forward?
Yes. I don't find it easier. It's just that I am so committed to love and I'm
Mm,
so in love with love. And because my own confidence continues to grow and I know myself and I'm more assured in who I am, it becomes easier to choose love over fear.
mm,
I literally choose love over fear, even when it hurts.
mm.
Like I went through the most painful weekend this past weekend. It sucked, sucked,
Right.
sucked. And I remember saying out loud, "Oh my God, this is brutal. This is brutal. This is brutal." And, I'm already starting to let some of that go. Number one, I don't stop feelings from happening. I allow these negative seeming feelings to go through me. So instead of staying stuck and saying, like, okay, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that anymore. I say, okay, you know what? Anger, grief, sadness, depression, come on, come on, let's go. Let's
Mm.
go. And then when I do that, it's amazing how quickly it goes away. It just goes through me, it goes away. I choose love because I decided I am love, and there is no guarantee. There's no
Mm,
guarantee that the next person, even if you want them to be it and you're everything, there's no guarantees in life. You have to be okay with that.
mm,
Are you
mm.
okay with that?
With there not being any guarantees, I think, yeah, I know that there's not any guarantees. Do I want to risk it? That's something I'm still trying to figure out if I want
Yeah,
to risk it or not. Because I can ask you, have you ever been in love?
many
And you would say,
times.
right. And you ask me,
Have
and
you ever been in love?
I think that I have, but when I look back on it, no, I wasn't. And
You don't
I'm
think
not
so?
sure, no, and I'm not sure what the definition of love is. I know that the only love that I've ever known is my two cats that I had for
Mm-hmm.
15 years. And when I had to let them go, a huge hole like left my body, or a huge part of me was gone, and I would do anything for them. And that's the only love that, I mean, immediate family, mother, sister, nephews, niece, it's kind of a default that, yeah, I love them, but that passionate, just feeling, overwhelming feeling of I will do anything for you. I care about you so much kind of thing. I've only felt with my animals. That's about it. I haven't yet felt that in another person. I've said it before. You know, when you're young, you say it because somebody else says it. Do I feel it? Because right after I say it in my head, I'm like, well, would I do anything for this person? Not sure. You know, I'm not sure. So
I
it hasn't gotten there yet,
I think we're getting somewhere.
you know?
I think we're getting somewhere really, really juicy and really important. You don't know what is love, number one. How do
Right.
you know? And you don't think that you felt it. There are lots of different types of love. There's
Sure.
family love, there's love in relationships, but there's different
Hmm.
levels, there's different intensity levels. And number one, I think that true love is a feeling. It's something that you just experience and you will know, and it's really, really hard to define.
Mm,
You will just feel it in your bones and you'll feel it in your core. It's beyond being selfish
mm,
because you know that initial love where everything's exciting and everything's new
mhm,
and shiny and everybody's perfect and nobody's making mistakes and nobody's criticizing yet.
mhm,
That's more of that honeymoon phase. It could be lust, but a true love is something that you feel deep in your core and in your heart. And it's when you genuinely want the other person to be happy. And when
mm,
they're happy, it just lights you up. I think the only way that you can truly experience that is when you know that you have a certain level of love for yourself. And if you
mm.
love yourself so much, I think that you can love somebody else so much. If you love yourself a little bit, you could love somebody else a little bit. You see what I'm
It would
saying?
be nice. It would be nice to, it sounds great, and it would be nice to feel that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a really nice feeling. It's the
sure.
best feeling. It's the best feeling. Why do you think I love it so much? I love love. Let me ask you this. Do you love yourself?
I do, but I don't know. Everybody has a different definition of that. I wish I've done things. Do I have regrets in life? Absolutely. I wish I would have done things differently. Some things I wish I would have done differently. Am I hard on myself? I'm absolutely hard on myself. But everyone always says, and it's very cliche, before you can love anybody else, you have to love yourself. But there's a difference between loving yourself and vanity. You know, am I vain? Sure, I'm vain. I have levels of vanity in me. But do I love myself? I don't know the meaning of that yet. Like, do I try to take care of myself as best as possible? Yes, absolutely. Physically, emotionally, mentally. But do I love myself? Sometimes I don't know who I am. It's weird. I don't know where that came from, but sometimes I just don't know. I look in the mirror and I don't know who I am. And then when I do cutting videos, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, is that how people see me?
Hmm.
It's just strange. And it's as I'm cutting, or if I look in the mirror, I'm like, who is that guy? I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. And it's hard. I wish I had answers. I wish the universe gave me a map. And I think the universe would probably say, you already have the map in you. You just have to follow your intuition and your guide. And it's not going to be easy. But sometimes I wish it was easy. Sometimes I wish I could go to dreamland and be like, okay, this is what's happening in your life right now. Why don't you try this direction or that direction? But sometimes when you're in a hole in real life, I don't know which direction to go. And then here I go again. Something's in my head saying there's always a direction. Whatever direction you take, it's going to end up leading you back to where you're supposed to be. It may be a long route, it may be a short route, but eventually you're going to get there. I think I've been taking the long route and I want to find out where the short route is to get to where I need to go, to have that enlightened, fulfilling love, you know? And even doing this is like an insecurity of myself when I did this. It's like I can't even admit to like, yes, love is a great thing. I have to do this. You know, do you love your parents? Yeah. Give your mom a hug. All right, mom. It's just a lot of it has to do with the way I was raised and growing up. You know, it was tough love. That's what it is. My definition of love has always been tough love.
Mm,
It's never been easy. It's always been
mhm.
tough. Something you have to earn. Sometimes I wish things could just be easier. I know that life is tough. Nothing's going to hit you harder than life, you know, but you got to keep moving forward. And that's what I'm doing, even with all of my aches and pains, physically and emotionally, but can't just give up. So I might as well keep on going. But at the same time, as I keep on going, I'd like to have some ounce of joy in my life and just be happy, you know? And probably I'm not choosing to be happy. Here we go again with that, you know?
It's
So
like you're going around in circles and you
I'm
could
going
be
around in
having this
circles
conversation in your head all day long. It's like a
all day
merry-go-round.
long. Absolutely.
I think that you could drive yourself insane, but there were so many beautiful points that you just made. One of them is you said you're taking the long route and that you wish it was shorter. I think taking any route other than doing what you've been doing, because you know what it feels like to isolate,
Right.
and that's clearly not working. So let's just try anything different,
Mm,
anything at all. You know, it doesn't have to be go to the gym. If that's too tiring, fine. But maybe it's get outside and go on a walk. When
right.
I go on a walk outside in my neighborhood, I'm not expecting to talk to anybody. But I usually pass by other folks who are walking, and some of them I make eye contact with and I give a smile. Some people get a wave. Some people avoid contact with me altogether or
Yeah.
even go to the other side of the road. And you know what I
You
do?
cross the street.
I don't like let it get to me. I'm like, okay, well, that person,
Mm,
doesn't want a hello. And I'm not going to make that about me. That's their stuff. Why is that
mm.
mine? It's not mine.
It's a great point.
But I just try to shine as much as I can. So for the people who do want to receive my sunshine, they can have it. And they're going to give me a little bit of sunshine. And so that's a very small, easy way to get out into the world. What do you
Mm,
think?
I agree. I agree because I do take walks around the neighborhood and sometimes it's maybe a block away and a girl walking her dog and then she sees me from a block away and I see her crossing the street. I'm like, what is she so afraid? I get it. It's LA.
Well,
Um, I,
it's not just that. You can't make up stories about why you think somebody else is crossing the
mm,
street. Sometimes they have a dog that they can't control and they are trying to train that dog.
that is a good point. Sometimes I think about that too. It's like maybe she's doing it to protect myself.
Let's give people the benefit of the doubt. Let's start there. Then we can start to get rid of these stories about life being so tough, because that is
Mm,
a recurring theme in today's conversation. Life doesn't have to be that tough. I think it can be tough at times,
mm,
but we've already uncovered a lot from your past, and that is you received tough love.
right.
And you said that love has to be earned. Do you think that love has to be earned?
From my point of view, because of what I've gone through, and it's probably, I don't know if it's right or wrong, or maybe I shouldn't be say this, but you got to prove to me that you love me because I've been through some shit in the past. As opposed to, I probably should be very open, you know, whatever happened in the past, let it go because this person is offering themselves to me. But I have that little bit of a wall that's like, okay, prove it. Let's see if you're going to stick around, you know, because of that past trauma. I don't want to let anybody in right away. So do you have to earn it? A little bit. Is it fair? Probably not. Is it my fault? Yeah. I just need to learn to like let that go. And I haven't yet. You know, it's tough.
It is tough. And I just wanted to ask that question because I think the answer reveals a lot. And that is, I mean, I'm right there with you. I've
Right.
experienced a lot of people disappointing me and hurting me from a very young age. And so it's harder for me to lead life with an open heart, but
Mm,
I have made it a practice to do that. But I'm not going to spill my guts to a perfect stranger. Although I will say, yesterday I was
right.
feeling so vulnerable. And the guy doing the smog check on my car, he was so kind and so sweet that I just organically went up to him and gave him the biggest hug and thanked him and said, "Hey, I really needed a win today. Thank you
Mm,
so much." And I can't believe how much his face lit up. I brought
mm,
that man so much joy in having that real human moment with him. And I don't think that we have enough of those. But you have to do it on your own terms. There is no should. You
mm,
said, I should be this way. No, no. You need to be exactly as you are. It's
mm,
just something to think about. I think that that's a step in the right direction. That is forward movement, is starting to talk about the things that we want to change.
mm.
Have you?
Here's, you just said something very interesting because I have always kept this in the back of my head. 25 years ago, before I did hair, I was, working retail, trying to pay rent, stuff like that. And I was working this job where I was at the fitting room counter and I was letting people in the fitting rooms. I had to count all the clothing items and stuff. And then this girl came in. She was so depressed, so angry looking. I said, "Oh, you can only take in 6. You can't take in more than this." And she just looked at me. She said, "Well, I mean, is there a theft problem? What's the big deal?" And I was like, "No, no, no. It's just our rules." She went in, did her thing. She came back out, and then she didn't say anything. She put the clothes on the counter, and then she started walking away. I said, "Miss, are you doing okay?" I don't know why I said this, but I said I was probably in my late 20s. I said, "Are you doing okay? Are you having a bad day?" And then she said, "Well, I can't believe Bush just won the election, this and that." It was a politics thing. And I said, "Well, everything's going to be okay. You're going to be good." And then she stopped for a second and she said, "Thank you for asking if I was okay.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. It's just this whole politics thing. And I just think the world's going to go crazy. But I appreciate the fact that you just brought this up and then you're making me feel a lot much better. So I'm sorry if I had a bad attitude." And she walked away. I
Wow.
don't know why I said, "Are you going to be okay?" Because I didn't really, at the time I thought, "Wow, what a bitch. I don't really care." But she came out and I was like, "Wait a second." I was like, "Are you okay? Are you good?" And she goes, "Oh, no, no, thank you for asking because this is what's going on in the world, blah, blah, blah." So that's always stuck with me. So no matter what's going on, I'm thinking, okay, kind of just, I guess, love. Here we go again with love.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody and
Yeah.
then they will respond. She could have dismissed me, but she didn't. She appreciated it. So sometimes little bits and pieces here and there, I think, are helpful.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
it made her feel good and it made me feel good. I was like, wow, it's good to help people and do this and that. That was a long time ago. And I've had a few of those, throughout the years, but because of everything that's happened within the last 20, 30 years, I kind of built up this tough exterior. So maybe I need to just, like I said, open myself up to that again.
I think that would be a very beautiful thing. I
Mm,
love that story. And it sounds like you've had so much time building up these walls within your heart. And it's going to take some time, perhaps, to break them down. And you have to do them on your own pace. There's no right way to
mm,
do this, Johnny. You have to do it at the pace that works for you, that feels comfortable for you. There is no map to life.
right.
You are the map maker. You create your own map.
That's a great point.
So you could decide right here and right now that, you know what? I am committed to slowly chipping down these walls that
Mm,
prevent me from connecting with other human beings. Because the truth is, I do want to engage in society and I want to feel that connection to others.
mm,
You can say that you want to do it at a slow pace, at a medium pace, at a fast pace. You want to go back and forth. You get to design it. It's your life. You're an artist. So why not design your life in a
mm,
way that feels good for you? And I'm sure you can create something magical out of that. But you have to have more conversations like this.
mm.
Think that being in your own head too much can be incredibly destructive.
Sure.
It can be incredibly destructive. So quieting all that noise, all that internal chatter is
mm,
going to be essential. And finding people like having this type of conversation where you can bounce ideas is going to be fruitful.
agree.
Yeah.
Very good.
This is hard stuff. I think we're getting to the meaning of life right here. It's like, why are we here? Are we here to do hair? Are we here to train people? I don't think so. I
And
don't
you know
think
what?
so.
We've been here before. Our souls have been here before. I think our souls have been here before.
You think
So
so?
I think so.
What makes you think that?
Because I feel that if I haven't learned what I needed to learn, then I'm going to have to come back until I figure it out. And I think I've been back a few times
You can feel
before I
that?
can. Yeah. Yeah. And there's a part of me because of where I'm at in life right now and my age and how I'm feeling physically and emotionally. There's a part of me that's like, okay, this life, I did what I had to do. I'm probably going to have to come back around one more time and relearn what I had to learn. So I was like, okay, I'll have to come back before I find this amazing epiphany and joy of life and this and that because I tried this round and maybe it didn't happen yet. I mean, I'm sure I still have a couple of decades to go, but it would have been nice to have done it on this round and then, I don't know, maybe try and move on to the next level. That's my personal opinion, but there's a part of me that thinks I'm gonna have to come back around. Maybe I won't be long hair Johnny as an artist. Maybe I'll come back as a professional athlete, which is what I really wanted to do in my life. It's not in my hands. It's probably my soul that's like, you're going to choose to do this. I told myself, I'm going to choose this person and we're going to see how I navigate life. Did I learn what I need to learn? Nope. Okay. Why don't you choose to be this person? Why don't we have you become a homeless person and see how you navigate life? You know, even though I know that we have choices and we make our own success. But I think there's a part of me deep inside of my soul that says like, okay, choose this, choose that. If these are the hands you're dealt with, let's see what you do with it. And
You
because
think we have free will?
I think, oh yeah, of course, I think we definitely have free will, and there's energy that is helping us, giving us little nudges along the way, whether it be the weather or animals or angels come in all forms. I think, but there's a part of me that's like, maybe I think I'm gonna have to come back around. But you know, life's not over yet, so
No, it's not. And I don't even
no,
think it's
I
close for
haven't crossed
you.
my finish line yet, so we'll see.
Yeah. Who
We'll see.
knows? Who
Yeah,
knows? The next time I get my hair cut, you could be in a whole different place in life.
yeah.
One
Maybe
thing
my
that
body
I'm,
will be fixed.
well, that's an interesting point right there because right now you have some pains.
Hmm. Lots of physical pain, but then with all this physical pain that's going on, speaking to you from a friend's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
is the universe telling me that it's time for you to quit air? It's time for you to move on to the next. Because this all this pain stuff started last year, and it's gotten better, but then worse, but then better, but then worse. And I figured, okay, 2026, everything's going to be fixed. I did the surgery on my neck, everything's good, but I still have some pains because I'm constantly trying to fix myself and the vanity of working out and having a perfect body and this and that, that my body's breaking down again. And I don't know what the answer is. And sometimes I think to myself, well, you've been doing hair for 22 years. Maybe it's us telling you to go in a different direction.
Maybe,
I don't know. Maybe.
maybe, but you also revealed something else, and that is you like working out. And something you shared with me on our last haircut
Mm,
was that you went from post surgery not having worked out for many weeks and you went back to weight training
hmm.
and you
Which
went,
I probably shouldn't have.
well, it's okay to do that, but you got to build gradually. And I think what you
Right.
did is you went back to the weights you were using
My
previously
routine. Yeah.
and your body's in a different place.
Mm,
Your body's in a different place. It needs you to build gradually. And the only reason why I understand that so well is because I did that post surgery. I was like, well, I know what numbers I can get
mm,
with my weights. So let me go back there because my ego is so strong that it's like, Kat, you know you can lift that. But my body is now in a different place.
mm.
And so I think you got humbled with that. I don't know if it's as dramatic as saying like, "Hey, you need to quit this job and find a different career, a different source of income."
Mm,
Maybe, or maybe it's, "Let's go back to working out. That's great, but can we build gradually, please?"
mm, agree.
And you started acupuncture recently?
Yesterday, and
Yesterday?
yesterday I did my first acupuncture treatment, and it was pretty cool. After she put everything in and then she turned off the lights and left the room, I was left by myself. But the funnest thing about that was that I had my eyes shut, the music was on, and then I saw green and purple lights, like aurora lights. And I thought to myself, okay, maybe I have partially my eyes open so that I'm getting glares from the room. Nope, I had my eyes shut, and then I felt like I was traveling through space with all the green and the purple passing through it. And all I was thinking was, please don't go away. I love this feeling. I feel like I'm flying. I feel like I'm flying. Please don't go away. What is this? Who is this? Tell me something. Tell me something. It stayed for a good 10 minutes and then it went away. And then 10 minutes later, it came back and I got so happy. I just couldn't put my finger on what it meant or what it was, but it was a nice journey.
Yeah.
And that was fun. That was the fun part of the acupuncture. Once it was done this morning, she did tell me that I was going to be sore, and I was.
Okay.
And even actually more sore than I was before the acupuncture, but that's normal because she was also massaging where the pain was. But I did feel relaxed. And it was an experience. Hopefully it worked a little bit, but I think there's a lot of other things that need to come out as far as the toxins and stuff that need to come out of my body
I'm thinking the same
still,
thing.
you know?
Yeah. I'm thinking that things are working their way out of you, the things that
Mm,
you need to shed and the things you need to release. And oh
mm.
my God, I'm so excited that you had that experience
Yeah,
with
it
the
was great.
green and the purple lights.
And I didn't even have to take mushrooms. It was
No, you
like,
didn't. You don't have to. You don't have to take drugs to go on a trip. That is what I learned about in Reiki when I
mm,
was a master Reiki practitioner in another life. No, but actually 15 years ago. I was practicing Reiki, and in my own experiences of receiving Reiki, I had those same colors
mm,
when my eyes were closed and I could
mm,
see them and I was tripping and I loved it.
mm.
I don't know what it actually is. I'm
Right.
sure some scientists can
Yeah,
describe the physiological thing that is happening with our
sure,
eyes or whatever. But I
sure.
want to believe that it's energy and possibly chakras being cleared and blockages becoming cleared and energy moving the way that it's intended to move and flow through you. And if it feels good and you're experiencing that and you're lying down in darkness with the soft music and you are just being and you're getting out of your head, what a beautiful thing.
Mm, mm. It was. Yeah, that was the fun part.
I'm wondering, where is the soreness? Is it where she put the needles, or is it in your collarbone where the pain originated?
The pain is still there in the collarbone, not as prominent, because I did have pain going up the side of my neck and my shoulder right here.
Mhm.
So as she had the pins in, she was still massaging right here and my neck, but squeezing medium to firm.
Okay.
So I think that had to do with that's why I'm a little sore from that. And she told me I would be sore.
And that makes perfect sense because
Yeah.
even when you get massages and they add any kind of firm pressure,
Hmm.
then you will be sore for the next day. But then something miraculous happens and you typically have a really big release and those knots really work themselves out. But right now, it's like they were tight and you're just trying to manipulate that
Hmm.
soft tissue into relaxing because you're holding tension there. And
Hmm.
it doesn't work in isolation. That tension, that knot is pulling on all of the nearby muscles. So those get tight too. And it's like you've
Yeah.
got to release all of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
One thing
It's a
that's
lot.
exciting, if you believe in the Chinese New Year, which happens on February 4th,
Yep.
that's the year of the horse. Right now, we're
Adventure.
still in adventure, forward movement, and
Mm.
new beginnings. Lots and lots of forward movement. And right now, we're still finishing up the year of the snake, a time for shedding that which
Hmm.
we no longer need, that which no longer serves us, letting go. So don't be surprised.
So maybe that's why I thought, okay, January 1st, new year, everything's going to be better. Maybe I can give it another month. We'll see what happens, because that's the Chinese New Year, and maybe the shedding will be all gone. We'll see. Who knows?
Well, I think that that stuff is lovely to think about, and I like tradition and I like story a lot.
Hmm.
However, I think that the year of the horse starts when you decide it starts.
Mm, good point.
It can start today. It can start on February 4th, but how about we start preparing for it now? How
Mm,
about we just use this extra month to let go of all the stuff that hasn't been working for us?
mm,
And then on February 4th, if we like dates, we can say, you know what? It's time for new beginnings. I'm going to go on a walk, or I'm going to go to that gym.
mm,
And, I'm not going to talk to people, but I'm going to make my presence known, because people don't make instant friends typically. Some
mm.
people do. I have to be at a gym for months and months
Sure.
until people start to see, like, oh, she goes here. She's
Right.
consistent. Oh, he
Right.
goes here. They're consistent. We can talk. We can finally meet. We can
Mm.
exchange names, have conversation. I'm like you. It takes some time.
Yeah. When you start seeing familiar faces, then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, you're a part of the 6 a.m. crew? Cool.
Yes.
Oh, here you go again. Oh, you're new? Okay, let's chat.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that that's a really organic way of making true friendships too. And
right.
one last thing I want to comment on is, we started this conversation with you saying, I had this close knit group of friends in my
Hmm.
20s, but then people grow older, they get married, they have kids, they do this, and they go away.
Mm,
They go away. And these people go away. And these people go away. That's one way of looking at it.
hmm.
And what part do we have in that? Because some relationships do naturally end. As
Sure.
we grow, they naturally end, but not all of them do.
Right.
They don't have to. You have to feed friendships the same way that you feed your body and you feed your self-love and you feed romantic relationship. You have to nurture them. There has to
Mm,
be a reciprocity there where both
mm.
people are feeding that.
I agree. That's a great point. That's an excellent point. Choosing which dog you want to feed too.
My God, when you said that during our session, can you remind me how that
Yes. I
say it again?
feel like for me, being a Gemini, which is duality. I have one dog and another dog. Good dog, bad dog. And it all depends on which dog I'm going to feed, you know? And
Mhm.
lately it's been a lot of the bad dog because he barks the loudest. But, the other dog, when he comes out, it feels lighter, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Airy. It feels good. But I always end up, going back to the bad dog sometimes because he's loud, he's fun, he's he says, take this chance, do that, or who cares about this person? It's okay to be angry, and it's always okay to be angry, but it just depends on which dog. And I think this angry dog needs to go on hibernation for a little bit because I don't know. I'm waiting for some light to shine. If that makes sense, you
It
know.
does. We started our conversation with you saying that you were waiting for the light to shine, and then I said, you got to create that light. You have to decide to see that light, because I think that light exists around us all the time.
Mhm.
And even on rainy days, we can
Yeah.
choose to see light. You saw light when you saw your cats. I knew how much you loved those animals. But
Hmm.
you're an animal lover in general. Spending
Correct.
more time with animals, I think, is going to feed your soul. It's a really
Yeah.
good start. You've got to spend more time with animals. We already know that about you. So it's like, let's not reinvent the wheel here. Spend more time with animals.
And that's the other thing is that I had them for so long and I was devastated when I lost them. And everyone's saying, why don't you get a couple more cats? Do I really want to go through that again? I don't know if I'm ready to go through that again because I was devastated in 2021 when that happened, when I had to let them go. So I'm sure that if I did, I would be so happy and that love would come back. I don't know what's holding me back from that.
I think that's worth exploring. And
Maybe, possibly.
I think you should look at it if you want to.
Right.
But what I hear is that you experienced this great love that was selfless. Because
Mm,
cats are such independent creatures.
yeah.
They don't really need us all that much. They need
No,
us a
it's
lot
it's on
less
their
than
terms.
dogs.
Yeah. It's on their terms, which I
It's
like.
on their terms. They're so independent, but they still need things from us. And you wanted to be a caretaker and you felt a great love. That's real love. And so when they passed, of course you're going to be devastated because you cared for them so much, but that's part
Hmm.
of being human. That's feeling, that's being alive, that's having the full range of human experience. If you are just existing, what are you doing here?
Mm,
What's the point? It's easy to exist.
mm,
If you start looking at the pain in a different way, in that, oh my God, I'm so devastated that I lost my pet. It's like, oh my God, I loved something more than myself.
right.
Or I loved something so deeply. I know what that feels like. And let me ask you, do you regret having those 2 cats?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
That was
then.
one of the highlights of my life.
There you go. Their inevitable demise is going to be part of that plan because nothing lives forever. But the memories are always there, and there are other places to find that love, whether it's in another cat or in a relationship or in a friendship or in plants or in self-love or in just appreciation and love of life.
Here, here. Cheers.
Yeah. I'm excited for you. Think that this conversation is opening up stuff, not only for you, but for me too, because I'm
Sure.
also excited. I've gone through some recent pain. I'm still going through some pain, honestly.
Mm,
And I keep choosing love. And again, I'm allowing that pain to go through me and looking at the pain as a teacher and also loving the pain. So when I think about this dog that you say, and some people refer to it as like an angel and a devil on their shoulder, but we're going
mm,
to say bad dog and good dog on your shoulders. When bad dog is being louder and saying like, I want this, or go this way, sometimes we need to acknowledge that louder voice and say like, hey, buddy, I hear you.
mm,
Okay? You're not wrong. I love you and I need to do this. But listen, I'm not going to let you hibernate. I'm not going to ignore you. I'm going to
mm.
acknowledge you and I'm going to let you know I love you and you have served me. You're always going to be a part of me, but I need to choose this right now. I'm not going to forget about you. And maybe, and the way that Thich Nhat Hanh, this Vietnamese monk, says it is you take that pain and you embrace it. You
Mm,
hold it tenderly and you look at it lovingly and you say, I see you, pain. I see
mm.
you and I love you.
Definite food for thought.
Well, I really appreciate you so much. I'm
You too.
I'm just so excited that you opened your heart because you say you have all these walls, but then you just did a podcast
This
with
wasn't
me.
easy, by the way.
This wasn't
This whole
easy?
thing, it wasn't easy.
Are you serious? Because you just are flowing. You're so open.
It
You
wasn't
fooled
easy.
me.
Nope. Yep, can I be honest with you?
Yeah, of
There
course,
was a part
always.
of me yesterday that I said, "Oh God, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to speak?" At least it wasn't live in front of people because you could edit. But I thought, I'm not sure if I want to do this because I don't do this. I don't open myself up. And then I thought to myself, okay, I just have to think of it as like she's in my chair, we're talking. She's in my chair, we're talking.
You are
That's about
so
it.
creative.
But I was just like, no. And then I said, no, I'm not gonna cancel because I've done that in the past.
Yes,
Hey, we're all going out to the bar. We're going to this party. No, no, I'm just gonna stay home. No, I'm gonna stay home. And when I got this from you, even when you first suggested it, I suggested it to you actually. I want to be on your podcast,
you
not
did.
thinking you take it seriously. You said, "Oh, really? When shall we do this?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck."
And then I
When
put
you
it
went,
in the calendar right then and
yeah,
there. I was
you
like,
put it in the
okay, it's
calendar.
it's
You
happening.
put it in the calendar. I was like, going, "Oh shit, this is for real." I was like, "Oh, okay, she won't be serious." I was like, "Nope, she is serious because she wanted to do it." She goes, "Nope, let's put it in the calendar for next week." I was like,
Yes.
"Fuck, okay."
Yes. Yeah.
And then the whole weekend went by, and I thought, "Fuck, do I really want to do this?" But after all this, I'm actually really glad that I did it. So I want
Oh,
to say thank you. Yeah,
and I appreciate you sharing that so much. Let me just
yeah.
make sure that I say this because I ask people onto the podcast and some people say that they want to be on it because they've had a taste and a preview of the kind of conversations I have, and they're very
Hmm.
vulnerable. It's all talking about personal growth, which is not easy. And you're kind of, exposing yourself to a certain
Mm.
level. You're really like putting your heart out there. And people say they want to have that conversation. And I do get those last minute cancellations, and I don't take them to heart because I know
I know you don't. Yeah.
I can't. I
Yeah.
can't. Otherwise, I wouldn't do the podcast ever. I
Mm.
would just let that defeat be like, oh, they're rejecting me. Oh, I'm
Right.
not good enough. And it's like, fuck that. It's
Yeah.
not about me. It's all about them and where they're at. And I'm going to show them compassion. And if and when they want to come on, I'm always going to have a safe place for them to be. The
Mm.
fact that you said yes, and even though you had all these thoughts that were like, oh, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? I don't know. That's okay because you're a human being and
Hmm.
you showed up anyways means you're fucking strong.
Mm.
I'm so serious right now. The fact that you kept the date and you showed up means that you are stronger than most.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you did
listen,
that for you. Maybe you did that for me a little bit, but really you did that for you.
I think I did too.
So I appreciate you.
Yeah. No worries.
I'm excited to see what happens in both of our lives in the coming
Sure.
months, and
I
we'll
can't
stay
wait
in
to,
touch.
yeah, I can't wait to talk to you the next time you're in my chair. We'll
Yes,
see what happens.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Johnny.
Thanks, Kat.